What's the ruling on hearing kuffar statements in everyday life? If someone is watching something where kuffar statements come up, is he sinful? The person didn't go out of his way to listen to the kuffar. It was unexpected within their everyday lives. This is from an inmate or inmates at a prison. There's a difference between sama' and istima'. Istima' is purposely listening to kuffar or haram. Sama' is accidentally, unintentionally hearing kufr or haram. A person who unintentionally hears kufr or evil, sama', or any of the various types of sins, like lying or backbiting or slander or music, whether it's aspects of kufr or sins, if he hears it without intending to do so, it's not a sin. An example is like someone is in a gathering and another person unexpectedly says something that's kufr, like mocking Islam or aspects of Islam. Or someone casually passes through a street and he hears any of the various sins or kufr. Since this question is from prison, an example would be the inmate or captive is in the cell and he has a cellmate, or he's in a holding cell with other cellmates. They say or do acts of kufr. It's unexpected. The Muslim doesn't approve of it. He's not pleased with it, but he can't do anything about it. He does the inkar of the munkar in his heart. The least of it is in the heart. Or a correctional officer abuses his authority and harms a Muslim by mocking Islam or doing something, for example, to a Quran. In all those scenarios, one hates that. He's displeased with what he heard or seen. He doesn't purposely go to such gatherings, nor could he leave them. That person is not sinned by the ijma' of the ulama. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala said, pertaining to someone who willingly, without darura, goes to where there's munkar, he said, لا يجوز لأحد أن يحضر مجالس المنكر باختياره لغير ضرورة. It's not permissible for one to attend settings of munkar willingly without a darura. The least and weakest of iman is to change the munkar in the heart by hating that evil in munkar and feeling that it's wrong. And that entails that one should not be anywhere near where the mockery of Islam or statements of kufr that displeased Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are uttered. It's a contradiction for one to claim to change the munkar in their heart and have the free will to leave or avoid such gatherings where statements of kufr or mockery of Islam are uttered, but remain in such settings. Some are not forced, nor under ikrah, nor have any shari'i excuse to be where Islam is mocked or where words of kufr are uttered. Yet at the same time, they'll say they changed the munkar in their heart and they'll remain in that setting. In reality, they're lying to themselves about their inkar of the munkar in the heart. And worse than that is one who willingly goes to such places knowing any of that will most likely take place. Changing the evil in the heart, the inkar of the munkar in the heart, is the weakest of the iman, and that entails that one must avoid such settings or leave them if he's caught up in them, if he's able to. One would never sit for a second nor go to any gatherings where his wife or parents or loved ones are being mocked or abused. But that's underestimated when the abuse or lies or mockery pertain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam or to his wives or to his sahaba. وَقَدْ نَزَّلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ أَنْ إِذَا سَمِعْتُمْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ يُكْفَرُ بِهَا وَيُسْتَهْزَأُ بِهَا فَلَا تَقْعُدُوا مَعَهُمْ حَتَّى يَخُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِهِ. It's been revealed to you. When you hear the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being denied and mocked, don't sit with them until they change the subject. It can't get any clearer. إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا مِثْلُهُمْ. If you remain with them, then certainly you're like them. One must be displeased with that mockery and the kufr that said, do inkar of the munkar and leave in order not to fall under the punishment of these ayat. In another verse, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ الَّذِينَ يَخُوضُونَ فِي آيَاتِنَا فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ حَتَّى يَخُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِهِ. A direct order to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam that when you come across those who mock the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't sit with them unless they engage in another topic. If that's said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose level and status of iman and yaqeen is known, imagine anyone else less than him. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma said, if you sit with those who mock the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while they're mocking them, meaning where kuffar is mentioned, and you're pleased with it, then you are a kafir like them. Al-Qurtubi rahimahullah ta'ala said, it's necessary and essential to avoid and shun those who commit sins when that evil behavior appears from them. You have to avoid them when that evil behavior surfaces from them. Because whoever doesn't shun them and abandon them has approved their actions. And approving disbelief is disbelief. إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا مِثْلُهُمْ. The same ruling applies to comedy events that have kufr and mockery of Islam, or games that some play that contain kufr. That's aside from other munkarat that they may contain. The same ruling applies to those who go to gatherings where they criticize or question and doubt and object the commands and rules, legislation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or gatherings where they mock the righteous servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for their deen, or anywhere where statements of kufr are uttered and mentioned, like statements, Islam is a backward religion, or it's not appropriate for this time and age, and it's not for all times and ages, and so on.